The opinions, views, and conclusions expressed in this show are those of the show host and co-host and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of KPFV FM or its affiliates.
Welcome to the Jersey Boys Podcast, a show about the deficiencies of the federal government and those who either are elected or political appointees. Now here are your hosts.
Tony, full of baloney, and my good-looking brother,
Rocco, we shoot your eye out. Jersey boys
are in the house. Oh, folks.
Welcome back.
Yeah, it's been, we haven't had any, what comes after winter? Fall? Winter, no, it's winter, spring, summer. There's been no spring. It went from being real cold to hot.
I know it.
Like Frank over there. Healing hot. Oh, forget about it. Folks, it's a beautiful day. We want to thank you for joining us, tuning in, turning on, and dropping by the Jersey Boys podcast here on 98.1 KPFV FM, as well as all our followers on Facebook, Spotify, Donald Trump True Social. Should we start off like we always do, Rocco?
Absolutely.
With our Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes.
And if you don't want to join in, the Jersey Boys are coming to get you. All right, let's get it. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to this republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all. With liberty and justice for all.
Something a lot of our politicians in Washington need to refresh themselves, especially that Crockett, that congresswoman from Texas.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing about her is every time she opens up her mouth, both feet, open mouth, insert both big feet. They showed her on an interview before she was elected, congressperson, congressman, congresswoman. And she was speaking perfect King's English. It was unbelievable. I'm like, you look at well-groomed, the whole 9 yards. She gets elected. Now she's got the foot-long eyelashes.
The ghetto.
She's got the ghetto act like she's talking to somebody at Kentucky Fried. We got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Oh, grow up. Will you please? Will you please grow up?
Well, she's in now, so.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like, election time is going to come up soon, and what we don't want is some... All right, here we go. Let's talk about it. Folks, you don't have to agree with everything the Jersey Boys say. You don't have to agree with anything. However, a good debate is what made this nation great.
That's right.
Folks, can we please get back to a time when we could agree to disagree and still remain friends? Can we do that?
Yeah.
We're not supposed to agree on every issue. The whole point of a democracy is, okay, you say either, I say either. You say potato, I say potato.
I say tomato, you say tomato.
So what does it mean? To go ahead and ruin friendships, family relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend over politics? Over these nitwits in Washington?
That's right.
Forget about it. You're going to have to, like the military, they tell us to stand in front of a mirror and check ourselves.
That's right.
Now, you better check good.
Now, we're at 98.1 FM, KPFB. The phone number is
775
990
4900.
That's 775
990
4900.
Like we were little kids in Jersey. That's Murray Hill 7.
7500.
Oh, my gosh. Those are the good old days, right?
We encourage your phone calls.
Yeah, call us. Let us know how you're thinking. Like I said, we're open for debate. Tell us where we're wrong, right, Rocco?
Give us a call.
All us. Anywho, it's good time, like I said, get back to time we agree to disagree. Remember, we're not supposed to agree. Folks, someone once said, hell is the impossibility of reason. And if nobody understood that little euphemism, they sure understand it now after 4 years of the Joe Biden Democrat Marxist woke administration. Yes, administration. Oh, it's too much. It's too much.
Now we got a phone call.
A phone call already?
Me and you.
Come on. We got to get to our monologue.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
We gotta get to our monologue.
Okay, hold on.
Let's get to our monologue.
Okay.
Oh, hello. Who's calling, please?
Hello.
Hello? Hello. We love you. Won't you tell us your name? Hello. We can't hear you. Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
Let's try it again, Franco.
Hello. Hold on.
Hello. We love you. Won't you tell us your name?
Hello.
I want you to.
I love that you like it, Kevin.
Now we hear you.
All right. Who's calling?
Well, this is Killer Kovalev
Oh, no.
calling from the outskirts of Leavenworth, Kansas.
Oh, wow.
The outskirts.
I'm out, brother. I'm out.
The military penitentiary at Leavenworth Prison. They let Ski out for a night. How's that chicken fried
No, I'm
steak?
done. I'm done.
You done?
I'm done. I'm out.
All right, Ski.
Oh, good to hear you.
I'm calling early, fellas. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
The weather's great.
Good.
I hope you guys are the same.
We're doing great.
Doing great.
We're doing so good. You didn't let us finish our monologue. Go ahead.
No. I had such a great weekend last week, and I was wondering what you guys might have done last week.
So did we. We went to an awesome air show. Did you know about the air show, Frank?
Oh,
Frank, did you know about the air show at Nellis? No.
No.
Oh, we had
Oh, we had a blast.
you know,
blast.
how many air shows have we been to, and they never get old?
You know
Never,
what?
ever.
To God's honest, you're like a little kid. The World War I, what we love are the World War II planes, Vietnam, right up.
I love the old the F-86 Sabres from Korea and all
yeah.
that.
Right.
Korean War.
They were so basic.
Yeah, it was.
Even me and you could work on them, Tony.
Oh, and if we could, then they weren't that difficult to work on.
You know, Ski, they even had the tanker that you worked on.
The KC-135,
You got it, brother.
It was there.
the Cadillac of the sky.
That's
We were
right, brother.
standing there over by like the edge of the apron,
Yep.
and they're playing all the Vietnam song. We gotta get out of
Get
this
out
place. If it's the last thing we ever do. Girl, there's a better life
For me and you.
Frank's
Oh.
enjoying our singing. Frank, I don't see any picture on the computer. Anywho, yeah, but it was an absolute blast. Like I said, we saw people we haven't seen in how long?
Long time.
I mean,
long
it's
time.
just really a good time. I can't tell you.
blast.
That's awesome, man. Was the weather great?
Oh, weather was
Beautiful.
outstanding.
Absolutely
That was
beautiful.
fantastic.
I mean, like I said, we didn't have any. Like I said, winter, spring. We haven't had any spring at all. Ski. It went from being cold to being boom hot.
I know it. That's
We're in the midst of a most beautiful spring after most rotten winter. It's
Yeah.
a pretty nice.
I know. I'll tell you. Like I
So
said,
did you see where
the only thing,
Batman?
the only thing,
Go ahead.
the only thing missing from the air show was you.
That's right.
Me.
I'm telling you, man. But like
yeah.
you said, how many we've been to? I don't care how many I've gone to. Tell the truth. You're like a little kid. You're walking around. You're like this. You're like,
I know. And the pretty girls.
yeah. Not to mention the
And we worked on that stuff. We
right.
still love it.
That's
That's
right.
right.
We are phantom fixers.
Matter of fact, when I was in Nellis with the 555 Red Horse unit, combat engineers, I saw a couple there.
Yeah.
And we talked to them. And it was great.
Oh, not to mention the good-looking bays, man.
Oh, my
They
Lord.
were everywhere.
Boing,
I was handing out my card.
boing.
And they're like, I'm going to go out with you.
Yeah, right.
We had so much fun. There's this one girl from the OSI, Office of Special Investigation.
Oh.
She walked out.
Yeah.
The people just parted. The seas just parted. And so me and my brother standing there like this, like, take us.
And she smiled.
Yeah, you need to arrest us right now.
She was smiling. I mean, wow.
Beautiful girl. Beautiful girl. It was
Almost
nice,
like a grandma.
Won't be now.
nice to be on Nellis again, Skate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, when was the last time you were there?
Oh, last time I was at Nellis was about 82. 82.
Yeah. It's,
1982.
Wow.
they were doing it. If you remember the air shows, they were doing them every year. And then once Obama,
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
and then once Obama, and then I'm getting a slight delay, so if I interrupt you, forgive me. Once Obama got in, they started going to like every 2 years, and then by every 3 years, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
The people want to see they want to see our weapons, man. Forget about it.
It's such a waste of money.
Yeah, well, it's like.
Yeah, right.
But is it really?
Ah,
Yeah,
you know it isn't.
No, it ain't.
Trump is back.
Sure is.
There's a new sheriff in town.
Boom.
Donald Trump.
He had a cabinet meeting today, and
Oh, wasn't that? Did you guys see the clips of that?
it was a beautiful thing. He actually invited the press in, which is very, very unusual.
Very rare.
And like they went around the room. In fact, you just didn't let us get through the monologue. I'm glad you called, but you kind of. That's all right. I love you.
Hey, I've been known to jump the gun, as you say.
To intervene.
Yes. Coitus interrupt. Hey, when you coming out again, man? I want you here.
I don't know when you coming out to see me.
I will.
Yeah, right.
Huh?
The weather's nice now.
Yeah, so it's like I said,
Yeah.
we'll get it together, man. Anywho, you got anything else for the Jersey boys?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Was it yesterday? God, I can't remember. Oh, Tim Walz was at a Trump, a rally.
Yeah.
In parentheses, rally for
For
the
who?
veterans in Minnesota.
Oh my
And
God.
before he could get started, they just started ripping him like, "F you, get out of here,
Yeah.
stolen valor, you
Yeah.
piece of." Oh
Yeah.
man,
Piece
let
of shit.
Let me finish. He didn't get to finish his monologue either.
Forget about
Yeah.
it. I mean, you talk about
Piece of joke.
stolen valor and saying things. He was a combat vet. I'm a combat vet. I'm a combat vet. And Command Sergeant Major, excuse me, you didn't go through the 2 years of Command Sergeant Major. And they reduced him back in rank to Master Sergeant, right?
Right.
He's a dirty, filthy, scummy liar.
He should have tried out for
You know what he is?
What?
He's a pencil neck geek.
lousy physique.
A
Silly-looking, scum-sucking,
pencil
pencil neck geek.
Pencil neck
He should have tried out for Let's Make a Deal.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Remember Monty Hall?
He would have been.
You know what he really?
Yep.
He looks like Bozo the Clown. I swear, most of the time you see him, he's drunk. He's got this nutty look in his eye.
Yeah.
You see him come out, he's throwing all these gestures, and it's like,
His eyeballs are always wide.
you tell me what man acts like that? What? Come on,
He's a half a fag.
gotta be a half a
I
fag.
can't think of anybody. And then last week he was at in Wisconsin at Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and he wouldn't allow anybody with a MAGA hat. They were denied entry to a
is that
town hall
so?
meeting.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, wouldn't allow anybody.
He thinks he's calling the shot. You know something?
He knows he's a loser.
Yeah, he's not only a loser, a dirty, filthy, scummy liar, and stolen valor. You've heard the old saying: the older we get, or the older I get, the better I was. This is a guy. His entire unit turned on him. The way they turned on John. Remember John Kerry, the PT boat guys, patrol boats, swift boats, and here's a guy.
In for all these medals.
He put himself in for all his military decorations. I
That's
mean,
right.
that is the unpardonable sin, man.
Yeah.
Now, Tim Walz, he is a joke, a bad joke
Yeah.
on the American people.
Yeah. Write a book, marry a beautiful woman in Hollywood,
Are you talking about Kerry now?
movie star.
John Kerry married an ugly. He married into the Heinz fortune. But let me tell you something. She's billions. But have you ever seen his wife?
He looks like a rotten tomato.
Yeah, I'm not. Like I said, it's not nice, and I'm not good. But the thing is,
Kerry
It's-
looks like Abe Lincoln.
she looks like a
tells the truth.
transgender male who hasn't gone through the trans. Sex,
Oh,
how about a sex change?
kind of like Obama's wife.
Yeah. How about a sex change gone bad? Let's
Yeah.
just leave it at that.
Face brute.
All right. What else you got for the Jersey boys?
That's it, brothers.
All right. Love you, man.
Man, we
Glad
love you.
love you too. I'm glad I'm a former enemy of the state.
There you go.
Yes. You know what? God bless Donald Trump. God bless
God
Killer
bless you.
Kowalski, and he's finally out of the military penitentiary at
Thank
Leavenworth.
God.
And we'll talk to you soon, brother.
God bless the American veterans.
That's right.
You betcha, brother.
Now, God bless. Talk to you later, Skate.
Later.
Take care, brother.
There we go.
Too.
They said, Frank, could I ask you just a quick question? I'm not that bright, but
Frank.
there's no picture. There's no picture on the computer. Is that the way it's supposed to be?
Doesn't work.
Oh, okay. Forget about it.
Malone.
All right, folks, I'm going to digress. Someone
Okay.
once said, hell is the impossibility of reason. For the past 4 years under Joe Biden and his Democrat Marxist woke political administration, our nation was in hell. And the Jersey Boys are going to prove our nation's been in hell with good old-fashioned logic, the battlefield of adulthood. And two, Donald Trump is proving it beyond a shadow of a doubt, man. Just by what he did today.
Yeah.
Allowing the press in one of his cabinet meetings. It's
Talking off the cuff, no teleprompters.
Yeah,
I mean, the man's with it.
It's unbelievable. But someone also once said the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and over again and expecting different results. Probably how we wound up here.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man. But you know what?
Couple of Jersey boys.
The good news is, folks, PT's in the house. I think today's like his 80th day, 81st day, whatever.
Right.
And,
And
it's just,
look how much he's accomplished. Him and his team, Elon Musk and his team.
Oh, okay. Today, let's talk about the tariffs, the latest tariffs from the Trump administration.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was worried about the stock. Oh, my stock. Oh, my 401k. Hey, think about the big picture, okay?
That's right.
All right. We may have to take a couple of pitfalls, a couple of shorts, for a couple of few months. But guess what? Yesterday, he put a 90-day pause
on the
extreme tariffs, except for Red China.
Except for Red China. 125% tariff on Red China.
Right. But everybody else, the S&P 500 went up so high, it was the third largest close in its history. So please, just look. Like China has a 5-year, a 10-year, a 50-year, 100-year plan.
Right.
You got to think big picture, all right? So if your 401k is down a little bit, don't sweat it.
Yeah, don't sweat it.
And remember, you can't take any of this stuff with you anyway. Better we fix the country and we get back on the straight and narrow, right?
Yeah.
The rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air. Then our 401ks will get back to where they should. Uh-oh.
But look at gas prices now.
Frank's doing the
he's tweaking on the fuel quantity gauge.
Unbelievable.
But gas prices are down.
Yeah.
The price of eggs are down.
Down.
Groceries and stuff like that.
Down.
They're coming down.
Like I said, give the man a chance. It's only his 80th day in office.
Going down.
And I'm pretty satisfied. In fact, very satisfied.
I'm happy.
Again, Trump announces a 90-day pause on the reciprocal tariffs. 10% tariffs will remain in place across the board for 90 days.
Right.
Except for Red China. Red China's playing the wise guy. Okay, we're going to show them they can't do this to us. Really? Okay. So it was 104. He bumped it up to 125%.
You got that right.
And it's like,
you want to play? You want to play tough?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll play.
They need our markets bad.
And I don't mean to get ahead of you.
That's okay. Get ahead of me.
We're going to be getting the Panama Canal back. Okay?
Yes.
That Jimmy Carter gave away. Okay? He just gave it.
Yes.
And Trump is having none of it.
Let me jump ahead to that.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see if I can find. Well, wait, let me keep going. Okay, President Trump hosted Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House 2 days ago. Both men pledged mutual support for each other's country. Prime Minister Netanyahu talked about completely eliminating the main tariff. That's easy for me to say. Tariffs on all U.S. products sold in Israel immediately.
Right.
Okay. Now that is an ally. That's
is
somebody. Okay. You can depend on.
That's right.
In a world, direct talks will begin between the U.S. and Iran and all their proxies to avoid war in the Middle East and hopefully promote a lasting peace.
And to prevent them from getting a nuclear bomb.
Absolutely. Frank, you need any help back there? Jersey boys, we're here to help. I got 2 strong arms. Let me help. All right. George Stephanopoulos. Stephanopoulos. Democrat brown noser in chief.
Yeah.
Finally came clean this week about knowing Joe Biden's decline, the heartbreaking up close when he interviewed, that was his statement, was heartbreaking up close.
Oh,
Okay? One Democrat book after another is now coming out saying that they all knew Joe Biden was in serious decline.
sure.
And they covered it up. And they said the real culprit was Jill.
Dr. Jill.
They
Ooh.
said she's so addicted to the Air Force One plane rides
Right.
and the
All the freebies.
and the Secret Service treatment. And it's like, how about the time? And Joe,
Yeah.
you answered all of the questions.
And you finished your plate. Oh,
He
good.
lifted up his plate. It was pathetic.
You know-
Absolutely
You know,
pathetic.
Joe ain't taking care of that, if you know what I
We
mean.
didn't vote for Biden, but we have voted Democrat. We voted Republican. We voted Independent. But we want to see, when Joe Biden was elected, we didn't want to see him do bad. We wanted the whole country to do good. It was pathetic, absolutely pathetic. So anyway, one book after another now is coming out saying they all knew Joe Biden was in serious decline and not in control
Right.
for the 4 years he was president of the United States. The Jersey boys say, what the hell? What else is new?
Yeah, right.
The American people knew it. It's not
Everybody
like,
knew it all along.
yeah, we didn't need George Stephanopoulos and all these other Democrats coming. It's like we knew it. The American people knew this all along. The Jersey boys have been pointing this out for 3 years.
3 years.
And we were called everything, the N-word, the other N-word, Nazi, white supremacist.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't say that about Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are against DEI and WXYZ,
Yeah.
please, you know what?
LGBTQ.
Look, these don't lie,
No,
okay? Use your God-given brain and open your eyes.
that's right.
All you have to do. What we couldn't figure out was if we could see right through his chicken shit, why can't everybody else, excuse my language, why couldn't anybody else see it?
Now, we realize a lot of people, they go to work, they got families to support
Right.
and stuff like that. They don't have the kind of time to go ahead and investigate
Delve
and,
into it, the
and,
way the
and delve
Jersey
into
boys
it like
do.
we do.
That's
Okay.
understandable.
But you know,
Going
let's-
back to Barack Obama, this guy, he was a community organizer.
yeah,
And
right.
it was like, oh, he's
He might as well have pom-poms in his hand.
Yeah, it's like you could see right through his blageol, right through it, and people, oh, he's the
Oh.
greatest thing since sliced bread. No, he's not. He is a bull.
Shitter.
Yeah, I can't. Oh, folks,
Anywho,
the chicken shit. It piles up. So it's a military term, by the way. It's chicken shit.
I'll deep and,
And
high.
when you perpetrate that on the American people, I don't care what you say. It's what you do. Your actions speak louder than words. They always have.
And they always will.
All
The
right.
Jersey boys.
The Jersey boys are in the house. Anywho, George Stephanopoulos, they're writing books now, okay? And like I said, the Republican Party pulled this chicken shit on our beloved United States of America. Remember, folks, he had the codes, the nuclear code, the nuclear football and everything else.
Right.
I mean, are we supposed to just turn our heads and, oh, well, nothing ever happened. We just forget it. No. This needs to seriously be investigated. Why? To prevent it from ever happening again.
That's right.
I mean, it's okay. When you screw up, when you make a mistake, okay, you got to look at why they screwed up. Did they screw up because they didn't know better? Okay. Did they screw up because you didn't train them correctly? I can work with that. But if they screwed up because they just didn't care, and
Yeah.
they didn't care,
No, they didn't care.
that's
That's
Houston. We have a problem.
only yeah.
We have a problem,
they're
and the
putting-
problem is,
putting the American taxpayers.
yeah,
I mean, they're sucking more and more and more out. They were sucking more and more out of us.
the forgotten American taxpayers have they have ran our nation into the ground.
Sure. While enriching themselves.
Yes, it's true. President Trump again held a cabinet meeting today in order to promote real transparency
That's right.
and actually invited the press corps in. Folks, this is unprecedented, unheard of. Okay? Think about this, folks, just for a moment. Just
Signed some executive orders.
go with the Jersey boys on it just for a second. President Trump now, in 80 days, has held more press conferences, more meetings than Joe Biden and his Democrat Marxist woke administration had in their entire 4 year in the White House. I want you to roll that around your head for a little while. It is
Roll it around.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And yet the American people were forced to endure 4 years
4 years.
of Joe Biden and his chicken shit administration and policies that always put our nation and the American people last. You know, that hurts, man.
That hurts real bad.
That hurts because it's
everybody
like-
suffers from the school system, okay? Teaching that crap, that LGBTQ, the wokeism.
diversity, equity, inclusion.
That's all changing. That's all going to change,
Yeah, I mean, it's
okay?
our Constitution. All men are created equal, and okay,
Yeah.
we're not perfect, but slavery's been going on for China, 3,000 years. Rome. You look at the Assyrian. Okay, the slavery, and it's wrong. But you know what?
Tony, every ethnic group has suffered some sort of slavery.
Yeah,
okay?
they're turning the barrel. Exactly.
So come on.
But let's not keep beating our nation up because we had
No.
and we had a war to correct it, right?
That's right.
We went through the 50s. We undid all the Jim Crow. We had the alternative affirmative action for 60 years. They just threw that out because they realized, you know what breaks our balls? Because I got a lot of friends I worked with at Northrop Grumman, aeronautical engineers. And they say what breaks their balls, African Americans. They said what they're doing is they're making everybody think that if I'm an African American, the only reason why I got this job
Was because you.
it's because I was African American. In other
Right.
words, I busted my ass going to school while working jobs, 2 jobs, whatever. I busted going to night school. You know, basically what they're doing with this reverse discrimination against white Europeans, against everybody else, is making everybody think that blacks are only capable of obtaining these jobs because of diversity, equity, and it's wrong.
And it's wrong.
And they hate it. They
It's
hate it
wrong.
themselves.
Sure, they hate it.
And I hate it because I work with some great guys. Black, white, yellow, red, forget about it. When I needed a place to stay, when I was in between Rockwell International B-1 bomber
Right.
and Northrop Grumman, I needed a place to stay, looking for a place to live.
Out in
And
California.
all my friends, all my Guinea, Goomba, Dago, Spaghetti Bender friends,
They gave him this.
I got to talk to my wife.
Yeah, right.
Couldn't do it. You know who came true for me? Jesse Delk.
Chelsea Delk. What a
From
guy.
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
That's right. Home of the Red Tails.
That's right. Black crew chief in Vietnam, worked on airplanes as well as helicopters. His family was part of the Tuskegee,
That's
the
right.
Red Tail Air Group. I mean, he's got aviation in his blood. He says, Tony,
Guy's good as
Come on.
gold.
put me up for a month. I had to take the money and shove it. He wouldn't take it. I'm telling you, he
Don't
had
touch
to take the money. And shove
Don't
it.
touch me.
He would, and I'm like, his wife, Angel. I mean, these people are the salt of the earth.
That's
So
right.
don't give me this brajol, this chicken shit. Oh,
And it's all made up, Tony. It's all made up. If you look, retro TV, okay? You look at the Little Rascals, okay? There was Stymie. There was, they had major roles in
we were just watching.
in acting.
It's funny you should say that.
And-
Because we got the Roku TV. We can pull up the old Little Rascals.
Oh, I mean,
and they
there was
interviewed him. They did like shows in the 60s and 70s. They said, racism.
racism.
There was none of that. If there was, we never would have been on the show in the first place.
That's right.
Buckwheat, Stymie, Farina, you name it. And you got guys like Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. These
Right.
people have made hundreds of thousands, I bet you say millions, promoting this garbage, this,
All
this
because-
race baiting.
All because and the Million Man March, which let's face it, follow the money trail. They were trying to
They're trying to make something there where there is nothing.
nothing.
Basically, the American people get along. We grew up in Newark, New Jersey, where it was all ethnics. Italian, Irish, German, Black, Puerto Rican, we even had some Native American. I mean, it was all, but if you were from our neighborhood
That's right.
and you were part of our crew and they saw black guys coming in from another that didn't belong there,
Right.
they didn't care what color. You didn't belong in our neighborhood.
Right.
So it's like, please, you know what? Don't piss on our heads and tell us it's raining now.
That's right.
All right?
'Cause
Now, what are
we're
we going to tell them to do?
'Cause-
Now go home and get your shine box.
Yeah.
Don't buy the bullshit, the chicken shit that they're selling.
and it all
They may be selling the stuff. Doesn't mean you have to buy into it.
it all started with Lyndon Johnson too.
Oh, the Great
Lyndon
Society. I wish he was alive to see this now. And like I said, that Crockett, the one with the foot-long eyelashes and the way, my gosh, it's like instead of showing the people, look, okay, we really want to, no, they want to revert and keep reminding, well, we not going to pick the cotton. Oh, really?
Right.
Really?
And Waters.
Oh, and how about the other one? The mayor of Newark.
Oh, man.
Oh, forget
That
about
guy.
it. He's a senator now. I can't remember his name. Who was he? Another fucking, another clown. I'll think of it in a
He's
second.
a clown.
But just, it's unbelievable.
They just want to perpetuate this madness.
Yeah, and like I said, they may be selling this. Don't buy into
We
it.
ain't buying.
You're smarter than this. You know you're smarter than this.
And that's why you tuned in.
Yeah, don't buy into anybody else's game. Just don't do it.
No.
Use your own God-given brain. Open your eyes.
Right.
And if you need any guidance, the Jersey Boys will help you.
Hey,
You don't have to agree with us. You don't have to, like I said, call in, disagree if you want.
just call
But
in.
what we're giving you is common sense.
That's
All right. Here we go. Who else are we talking about? He went around the room when he had this press conference, and he spoke also to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. He
Right.
reported that the United States of America is now in talks with Panama to finally return the Panama Canal back to our beloved United States of America.
Hoorah!
Okay? In the meantime, U.S. ships will, for the first time in a long time, because they were basically working against us, extorting more money than they should have,
Extorting.
to let U.S. ships go through there and making them wait. The United States ships go first, and they go through for zero. I
Zero
mean,
amount of money.
They pay nothing.
We
okay?
built it.
Here it is. The U.S. ships will be first in line, and no cost, and not a penny. Here we go. Which is the way it always should have been. Why? The United States, folks, built the Panama Canal at a cost of more than 40,000 American lives.
That's right.
In the 1970s, Democrat President Jimmy Carter, God rest his soul, he was a good man, but he was an absolute terrible president. I'm sorry.
He should have stuck to his peanut farm.
Yeah, I hope he was a better peanut farmer than he was a president, because it's universally recognized he was a disaster.
Yeah,
he was Joe Biden. Actually, okay, they said he's happy. He went to his grave knowing it was somebody finally worse than him now, and his name was Joe Biden. But like I said, he was a good man, but terrible
president. Matter of fact, he canceled a lot of the programs for our defense industry.
Oh, let me tell you something, but it's true. In the 1970s, Democrat President Jimmy Carter sold the Panama Canal for $1 to the nation of Panama, okay? And one of the biggest boneheaded political moves in our nation's history.
Now, who would do that? Who?
Red China. The United States' #1 adversary is said to now control the Panama Canal.
Right.
And is also building military bases all up and down Central and South America. It's unbelievable. It started with Cuba, Fidel Castro in 1959. I mean, he basically held an entire generation of Cubans.
Yeah.
I used to tell us how intelligent they were, doctors. I mean, just some of the best doctors in the world. Beautiful island to go on vacation to, right? It was 90 miles off the coast. No, he ruined it. But, folks, so much for the Monroe Doctrine, where there was supposed to be no communist influence in our hemisphere. In other words, North America, Canada, the United States, Central America, Mexico, down to South America.
Right.
Well, you've got Red China now. Pete Hegseth said they'll come in and they'll offer free building. In other words, whatever they need, power stations.
Right.
Bridges,
what they're doing is they're bribing their way in.
Yes.
Okay.
They'll offer to help, and then all of a sudden,
help.
They own your ass, and that's exactly what you don't want to happen.
That's right.
But
that's why we now have 125% tariffs on them, because that's going to. I mean,
it should. Like I said, that they need us more than we need them. But let's hope we can work this all out, because, like I said, when we were growing up, everybody refers to China. It was always called Red China.
Yeah, Red China.
We lost China in 1949. We actually assisted China in World War II under Chiang Kai-shek. A little history lesson for the folks out there.
Let's do it.
And we supported them.
Who would want to let
MacArthur.
Patton would go through China, we wouldn't have.
MacArthur, not Patton. Patton was
MacArthur.
in Europe. But the point is, we lost China in 1949 when Mao Zedong defeated nationalist Chinese, Chiang Kai-shek, and they all went to the island at the time was called Formosa. Now
That's
it's
right.
called Taiwan.
Right.
Now they're circling every day with their submarines and their
Right.
airplanes, and they're just basically bullying everybody
Sure
in
they
the
are.
South Pacific, and they are the major dominant power. But the thing is, how did they get that way? I mean, we basically funded there with.
It was our own people
Our own
selling
fault.
us out.
It's true. It's the God's honest truth. But we never should have lost China. China was an ally,
Yeah.
and like Frank just chimed in about MacArthur, but be that as it may, we'll have to do it a different way economically, right, Frank?
Absolutely.
It's a situation where the Monroe Doctrine stated no communist influence anywhere on the
Anywhere.
American hemisphere, meaning North, Central, and South America.
Right.
Well, that's gone in the garbage because of people like Barack Obama,
Oh.
Jimmy Carter, Joe Biden.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about illegal immigration, Rocco.
Losers.
Our U.S. southern border has all but dried up and stopped. They showed a picture of a guy on the border today sweeping one of those big brooms, just sweeping away. And it's like, you remember how it was
Oh, it was flooded.
15, 20,000, 50,000 people a day just crossing over. You tell me who in their right mind would allow their country to be invaded. And at the time, we knew that these countries that hated our guts were emptying their mental institutions, their prisons,
Criminals.
and just letting them come in. I'll tell you why they did
Mental
it.
institutions.
The Jersey boys will tell you why they did it. Because they thought if they go ahead and bring in 20, 25 million illegal immigrants,
Right.
it would all but guarantee their reelection. Okay?
Sure.
As president.
Yeah.
We'd have Kamala Harris right now.
Yeah, they'd vote for him.
Guess what?
It
Big
didn't
sign.
happen.
Big sign.
And
Backfire.
not to mention the fentanyl that's being drug trafficking.
It's true.
Right
It's
in.
just terrible. Like I said, it's all but stopped thanks to President Donald Trump for making legal immigration a
Right.
priority in our nation. Once again, we're not against immigration, folks, but let's do it legally. Like if we want to go to Australia, if we want to go to Norway, but they don't. You have to do it legally.
Legally and properly vetted. You got to show the right paperwork.
Right.
And
Now, me and my brother probably couldn't get into those countries because we do have mental problems. We have been in prison. But the point I'm making is there needs to be rules and regulations and to be
Right.
followed. And to not follow them, you have what you've had here for the last 4 years. Look at the crime.
Yeah.
And who do they go after mostly? Women, young women, the
yeah.
elderly, children.
Right.
I mean, you look at the human trafficking, the drug, what this
I
has done to our nation as a result of Joe Biden and his brain-dead Democrat,
That's right.
Marxist woke administration. Thank God Donald Trump, he's not wasting any time.
No. Matter of fact, the Tom Holman.
Oh, man.
Tom Holman.
That's right.
And what's her name?
Pam Bondi, the
Pam?
Attorney General.
And Bondi and the other girl.
They are jumping on the grenade. Oh, the other one.
Christy Nome.
Right.
Is doing a fantastic job.
Yes, they are.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. They couldn't be doing better. Like I said, they are jumping on the grenade.
I mean,
the American people have had it with this chicken shit. And they proved it in the last election by overwhelming landslide. Can you say landslide victory?
Yeah.
The largest in American history. Oh, take this, sip that. In American history, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, and Libertarians all came together and said, yeah, we've had 4 years of your DEI, of your men competing in women's sports,
Right.
and really, really hurting women
and children.
and let's go ahead and push this transgender issue. I mean, really, this is demonic. This is satanic. You
right.
show us anywhere in the Bible where this stuff is pushed.
That's right.
It's not.
And Randy Weingarten has a lot to answer for as well. She went right along with it.
She did. She did, folks.
So she's going to be gone.
She used to
Or
be,
she's gone.
well, she was the head of the teachers union in our nation. Donald Trump went ahead and abolished the Department of Education, which came into being in 1980. And basically, since that time, the test scores of all of our children have gone down, down,
Yeah,
down.
we were like one of the lowest countries.
Yeah. We spend the most on our children, and they had the lowest, absolute lowest test scores
Yeah.
in the entire world.
Math,
Science,
science,
the 3 R's:
reading, writing,
and arithmetic. Right? Now, when we grew up, maybe a lot of you out there grew up when we did, right? I was born in 1959. I am a child of the 50s.
I'm the child of 60s.
That's why when we work out, we pop in the old doo-wop music. I don't know what it is, man. You listen to it, you pound the weights harder, you hit the heavy bag harder, and
that's right.
But the point, what did we grow up with? Fun with Sally, Dick, and Jane.
Right.
See Spot run.
Run.
Also, remember the Weekly Reader?
Yeah.
The Weekly Reader. Look, listen, and learn. We would go through, and it was, look, they said the educations that we received, I tell everybody, if you were raised in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, the education that you got, thank God in heaven that you were raised where and when you were raised.
That's
because rather than spending 24 hours a day in internet chat rooms, all day,
which is ruining our young kids.
Which is ruining them all day and all night. We went out and lived our lives.
That's right.
We did things. We went to concerts. We got into gang fights. We went outside and threw the foot. We played Pop Warner football. We played Little League baseball. Boxing, wrestling, everything. The kids today, you got to bribe them to go outside and play. Go outside.
They don't even look. The kids today don't even look the same as the children that grew up in the late 50s,
60s, 70s, and 80s.
I was born in 61, and the 70s. Oh, 70s were the great.
Well, you look at the kids. They were showing like pictures. I see these internet things. They've compared pictures where 80, 90, 95% of the kids are gesund. They're healthy.
Right.
They work out. They can do pull-ups, sit-ups.
They work out.
They look at the pictures today, and it's 85, 90%. They're all overweight.
Fat.
They've lowered the standards to get into the military over and over and over again. And thank God now finally they got rid of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Thank God.
Yes.
And they got rid of all that stuff, the transgenderism and LGBTQ, WXYZ. The military is not a social experiment, okay?
No.
You want to live that lifestyle? We don't care.
We don't care.
But stop shoving it down our throats and up our asses at the same. We don't care.
Yeah, what you do behind closed doors is your business.
Yes.
Just don't try and push it on us.
When you start pushing it on other people, now, okay, you were complaining about when you couldn't come out of the closet, and I couldn't live my lifestyle the way I wanted to, and people. Okay, so now you've got it the other way. Now it's like, you tell me it's worse now than it was.
Now, touch on the changes that are happening. Pete Hegseth, okay?
Pete Hegseth? I was going to use
Hegseth. Excuse me.
That's all right.
He went ahead and changed the qualifications.
Physical qualifications.
Physical qualification.
The women now, go ahead.
The women now have to go ahead and do the same amount of push-ups, sit-ups, run
times for
2
miles, mile and a half,
as the guys,
right? And you want to play with the big boys. You want to party with the big boys. And don't
show.
If you're not gonna, if you can't party with the big boy, if you can't do these things, don't
show up.
It's a situation where, look, nobody's saying you can't do what you want to do. Go ahead and do it. Look, this is this, okay? But the point is, it's like, if don't bitch, moan, and complain because you can't cut the mustard and get in the military. Right. The military, what we need are chest-beating knuckle draggers in the military who are going to defend our Constitution, right? Serve, protect, and defend our nation, the Constitution of the United States. We don't want people in there
that are soft.
Yeah, I mean, okay, that stuff. You weed out the people that can't hack.
Weed them out.
Weed them out. All right, here we go.
Also,
legal immigration.
The changes on all the, let's say, the military bases. Okay.
Well, you mean the name changes?
Yeah, they change it back to Bragg.
They went ahead and put the old names back to the way they were.
That's right.
In deference and in respect to the hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of people that went through those bases.
That's right.
A lot of those guys that fought in the Civil War on the southern side were they were Americans. They fought for the South. But the point is, it was to rectify a situation in this country, which was rectified. You're not going to go ahead again and change things with these diversity, equity, inclusion. You're just making
Yeah.
it worse.
Yeah. That's
All right, Attorney, we went around the world again, around the table. Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi,
Hoorah!
talked about taking our American cities back from criminals and specifically mentioned the people who commit criminal acts against Tesla.
Yeah.
Folks, they're looking at 20 years in prison and will not be allowed to go ahead and plea out or plea down their criminal sentences. Hoorah!
That's right. I mean, no parole.
No,
20 years.
The Jersey boys say bravo. The cowards who commit these crimes against other people's property must be punished to the full extent of the law.
Amen.
Okay?
Amen.
Why? Number one, because it is a cowardice act. Okay? And number two, to prevent other nitwits. I mean, they've got them. There's one guy's wearing his pajamas. He's keying somebody's car. The other guy's setting Tesla dealerships on fire.
Right.
And then they show the pictures, the mugshots of. They're like they're crying. It's
right.
I got one question. Let's see how well these cowards hold up in prison.
Oh,
Let's see how tough they are in prison.
Nah.
Okay.
No.
Elon Musk and
You'll wind
Doge.
up being somebody's bitch.
Oh, forget about it. Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency, they went around the table, saving the American people hundreds of billions. Can you say billions? With a B of dollars in fraud, waste, and abuse. And the Jersey boys want to add one more thing: embezzlement. Why?
Love that
The
word.
Trump administration needs to look into all of the NGOs. Remember those folks, the non-government organizations
That's right.
that were run by and for the Joe Biden administration.
Oh, yeah.
These NGOs were nothing more than the Democrat political money laundering organizations. I'll say it again. These non-governmental organizations were nothing more than Democrat political money laundering organizations. And under Joe Biden and the Democrat Marxist Socialist woke administration, our beloved United States of America was turned into the United States of political money laundering.
Oh, big
And
time.
guess what? Everybody knows it. This is how politicians enter politics
Yes.
as middle-class Americans and wind up accumulating 50, 100, $300 million.
I was talking like 5-6 mansions.
Yeah.
Come
While and after they're in and leaving, they leave political office. They take an oath, folks, just like we took in the military, to serve, protect, defend the Constitution of the United States of America.
Amen.
Then they fleece the forgotten American taxpayers by becoming experts in political money laundering through NGOs. You don't believe it? Just look at Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
Look at the money this woman
Has
has
embezzled.
made. Supposedly she has a better investment record than the Wizard of Wall Street, Warren Buffett, which is a joke. She sits in on these meetings. She finds out who's going to get the government contracts. Her husband makes a few phone calls, and they wind up making millions.
Insider information.
Yeah.
I mean, if you and I did that, forget it. They throw us in jail and throw away the key.
Why the double standard always?
Why?
That's what we want to know.
Why? Because
just look at, if you don't believe what we're saying, just look at Nancy Pelosi. Look at Barack Obama. Has 4 mansions, one on Martha's Vineyard. Okay?
Oh, he didn't like the fact that they were busing immigrants all the way up there.
I remember.
And they were like, "Oh no,
wait.
well, you can't stay here."
Within 24 hours, where were they? Gone. These people talk. It's all about virtue signaling,
and
folks.
that's just one property.
This is all about virtue. These people get elected to public office. They think they're going to Hollywood.
Right.
I mean, you look at AOC and Rashida Tlaib and the other Ilhan Omar,
who married her brother.
Yeah, to get into and the other one, Crockett with the foot-long eyelid. They all think that they're in Hollywood. It's all political theater, and it's all virtue. They say one thing, and their actions are directly opposite.
And then they'll tell you on top of it that
you should be doing this.
Yeah,
and you ought to be doing that.
And that it's good for you.
Yeah, it's good for it. Just look at Barack Obama. Look at Bill, Hillary, and Chelsea Clinton. Okay. Last but not least, folks. Okay. When you want to talk about these NGOs and basically legitimizing money laundering,
Yeah.
okay, fleecing the United States, forgotten American taxpayers,
Yeah.
okay, in broad daylight in public with these non-government organizations. Look at Joe Biden,
Oh.
who used his son, Hunter Biden, to be the bag man. Can you
Yeah.
say the bag
The
man?
bag man.
To enrich himself
Yeah.
and his entire family. They've got the records. They've got everything. They've got his partners. They've got the suspicious bank, SBRs they're called,
That's right.
tens of millions of dollars coming
in.
into the the Joe Biden family.
Right.
And what they would do is they would shittle around to all of these. They thought at first it was 17 LLCs, limited liability corporations.
Guess
It was
what?
more like 41, to where even the grandchildren are winding up with hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, millionaires.
Forget about it.
I mean,
so if you don't believe us, do your own research.
Yeah, you got computers.
Do your own research. Joe Biden used his own son, Hunter Biden, to be the bag man, to enrich himself and his entire family. Folks, this needs to be investigated.
And he had no idea what
Still alive?
he had no idea what to do on this board. All he did was sit in the chair and
You
do
talking about-
nothing.
You talking about Hunter?
Yeah, Hunter.
He had no experience
No experience whatsoever.
in petroleum. He had no experience in management. He had no experience. But he had the Biden last name. And what that is, you're selling
Yeah.
political influence.
Carte blanche.
So X marks the spot.
That's going to stop.
Yeah, let's come on. And like I said, this needs to be investigated, folks. This must be investigated.
And it will be investigated.
Why? Why? To prevent it from continuing to happen over and over again. Our nation has been run into the ground,
Yes.
okay, by white-collar criminals long enough.
Yeah.
It's time to start running our nation like a corporation, okay, and answer to the stockholders, the American people. And that's what Donald Trump basically
Yeah.
is.
Donald Trump was never a politician, okay?
Nah.
He went to the Wharton School of Finance, okay? The man is super intelligent, okay?
He's 10 to 15 jumps in front of everybody
He
else.
is. And then with Elon Musk on his team, now you're talking a man who can launch a rocket into space and then have it come down and catch the rocket in these arms, okay?
And the 100 guys that he's got working for him that know
Oh.
computer algorithms and everything else. These guys,
Yeah.
like I said before, there's a lot of people, and even my brother, we're not that computer savvy. But
No.
what you do is you surround yourself, hopefully, with people that can get it done
Right.
and will get it done. So we ensure that it doesn't happen again. We have lost, and basically our nation has been run into the ground for so long by white-collar criminals.
Right.
It's about time. Has anybody even considered running our nation like a corporate? No.
No.
It took somebody who wasn't a career politician,
Right.
Donald Trump, to come in and say, enough is enough.
The buck stops
is
here.
enough. Exactly. And the way we're going to do it now, the first time he was president for 4 years, the country for 2 years, Russia, Russia, Russia. They found out that the whole thing was set up by Hillary Clinton. The dossier that was handed off by Tony Steele, a British spy, to the FBI.
Yeah.
They knew it couldn't pass the fight. They signed it off anyway. They went after Donald Trump. You had that 6'8" lump of shit, James Comey, the FBI.
James Kohler.
Because they didn't like Donald Trump. Yeah, they didn't like him because he wasn't part of the good old boy club.
And Mueller.
He wasn't, part of the guys that goes in there and he's willing to basically give up his own, ruin the country
Yeah.
to make a few bucks. He's already a billionaire. Okay.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, he would not go ahead, and his standards.
Right.
So it's a situation where they couldn't buy him.
No.
That's what you needed. You needed somebody like a Donald Trump come in there and say, wait a minute. And you saw their reaction.
Yeah.
It's like Elon Musk said when he sold PayPal, and he went through the same thing. And he ran, TikTok or whatever that was called, a tweeting service. He said the biggest people, the biggest yellers and screamers are the fraudsters themselves, the ones
That's
who
right.
don't want things to change
That's
because
right.
they're used to making money. He was talking about the Social Security payments that are going out to
Dead
13
people.
to 15,000 people that are over 120.
Yeah.
And then the thousands of kids who aren't even born yet. hundreds of millions of dollars going out these kids. This is all fraud, waste, abuse, and embezzlement.
Money's going out?
Can you say embezzlement?
Money's going out to people who are 150 and older.
Yeah, I mean,
years old.
And he said it was actually in 2009 they did a report, an investigation, an internal report, and it was highlighted. You know what was done about it? Nothing.
Zero.
Absolutely nothing. But we finally got somebody in there that says, no, like my brother said, the buck stops here. It's not enough to go ahead. How about all the finance money, the COVID money? They would go ahead and make announcements about, we're going to do this. The Inflation Reduction Act. They signed the bill, Inflation Reduction Act. They were actually laughing, the Democrats, because what they did was add almost $2 trillion to our national debt.
That's right.
And as a further to the American people, they call it the Inflation Reduction Act.
Which was a hoax. It was a hoax. It was a lie.
Total scam.
And the Green News scam to make more money, suck more money out of the American public.
Fleece the American people. Again, right in front of your eyes. It's called NGOs, non-government organizations.
All right. How
We
about
told you that 3 years ago. Remember? The Jersey Boys. The
Jersey Boys?
Go ahead.
How about the monies that have now been rescinded from Harvard?
Yeah.
Okay. We're talking what? $1 billion?
He says we give
billions of
$8
dollars.
billion a year to Harvard.
Now it's just
They've got
Harvard.
an endowment of like 50 million. Why are we giving? No, 50 billion.
Right.
Why are we giving these
Mama Lukes.
Yeah, Princeton, Harvard, Brown, these Ivy League schools. Why are the forgotten American taxpayers giving any money to these Ivy League schools who basically have these endowments worth hundreds of millions, in some cases billions of dollars?
Right.
You know, it's a situation where you've got to say it doesn't make any sense.
And not only that, they're being indoctrinated, Tony,
Yes.
to go ahead and spread hatred
Right.
against the Jews.
In other words, they're not being educated; they're being indoctrinated,
Right.
and we're not going to have it anymore.
No, I mean, they're hating Jews. Okay, that's wrong.
I mean, when Jewish students can't go to their classes, you know, if one group of people is being prejudiced and being violently attacked,
yes,
again,
There's
if
something
one
wrong.
group, then everybody is being prejudiced. All right, I just got the fickle finger of fate from our Goomba,
Hamana.
Frank.
Frankie,
We want to thank you, folks, for
well, thank you.
tuning in, turning on, and dropping by the
Jersey Boys
weekly podcast. We'll be back next week. My
We'll-
brother Rocco and I, Frank. Till then, remember, folk, look out for one another. Look out for yourselves. Look out for your neighborhood. Keep your head on a swivel. Folks, please do not forget to support law enforcement. Okay?
We love law enforcement.
That's right. Every day they put their lives on the line for us,
That's right.
and it's a thankless job. Okay?
The firemen as
Back
well.
to badge. All right. It was up to us. They'd be getting combat pay, hazardous duty pay.
That's right.
You got all these white collar job criminals making millions, and you got the guys doing the most dangerous work making dog shit.
Yeah. And
Okay.
EMTs, the firemen,
Nurses,
as well as
firemen.
Yeah.
You name it, folks. Thank you, and for listening to the Jersey Boys.
yeah.
God bless America. Get the people, get actual government of the people, by the
By
people, for
the people.
We want to send strength and honor to all our fellow patriots. God bless
God
America.
bless
The Jersey Boys are out of here. Hoorah!
Yeah.